When we were kids, we would either visit our aunts or have our cousins visit us over the summer. We used to play games like street cricket, hide and seek, dumb charades, playing cards to mention a few. Every time we get together, one thing that hadn't changed was our battle to support Rajini or Kamal when we used to watch movies together. I don't exactly recall what disagreements we had, but it used to be an intense oral argument. We were terrified of a cousin who was a Kamal fanboy. It was incredibly challenging to prevail in any debate with him because he used to mock everyone who supported Rajni. I tell you this story today because a few decades later, I no longer consider myself to be such a devoted Rajni fan. The wonderful cousin who was a terrific Kamal fan later converted to Christianity, and I believe he no longer watches movies. Today, our love of cine heroes is turned to another kind of passion. Looking back, we readily acknowledge that our priorities have shifted significantly. What was important 30 years ago is less important today. We may notice huge changes in who we have become when we look back. However, when we look ahead, we tend to assume that the world will be altered, but we will remain the same. When we think about the future, we can picture ourselves with some physical changes, such as a little bit older and a little bit grayer, but we don't really think that we will be a different person. We don't think that we will have different points of view, preferences, or ideas about things in the future. Many studies by the Harvard psychologist Dan Gilbert demonstrate that whether you question people who are 20, 30, 40, 78 years old, how much have you changed in the past 10 years? At every age, people will tell you that they have changed significantly over the past 10 years and that they have very little more to change over the next 10 years. So, the contradiction and illusion here is that we know change is pretty much a constant when we look back. When we look ahead, it seems like nothing is changing. How does this happen? It's easy to remember who we were 10 years ago, but it's hard to imagine where we will be in the next 10 years. Understanding this contradiction is critical for every important issue in our lives. When I met my spouse the first time, I thought she would be the perfect life partner for me forever. This kind of self-deception can be dangerous. These can have detrimental effects on your life if you convince yourself that someone is going to be a nice spouse to you, or if you deceive yourself about how you are going to excel in your job till you retire. The issue is that your future self, the one who must keep that commitment, is not the same person that you were in 20 or 30 years. The same way, your spouse will also change. Let's hear a lovely story. Ram, 35 years, and Devi, 31 years, were sitting together drinking tea and talking on the eve of their wedding anniversary. In the eyes of the world, they were the ideal couple. There was a lot of love between them, but it seemed like their complaints were increasing over time. While talking, Devi made a proposal. I have a lot to say to you, but we do not get time for each other. That is why I purchased 2 diaries. We will write down whatever we have in our mind for each other for the entire year. On this day next year, we will read each other's diaries so that we can identify our flaws and avoid repeating them. Ram agreed that it was a good idea and they both took their diaries. The year flew by. On their anniversary the following year, they both gave each other their diaries. Devi began by reading Ram's diary first. My relatives arrived, but you did not address them properly. You bought me an out-of-date dress today after many years. There are only 2 complaints on the list. It was now Ram's turn to open Devi's diary. You did not give me a nice gift for our wedding anniversary today. You did not take us to the hotel for dinner as promised. There were approximately 50 such complaints. Ram's eyes welled up with tears as he read it. Following this, They stopped doing this practice. 40 years have gone. Devi is on her deathbed. She asked Ram to bring and read the diary. All of the pages he turned, 50, 60, were blank. She said with a smile, "I have covered everything on the last page." Ram, with his heart pounded, turned to the final page. "No matter how much I nag you in front of your face, I could not perceive any flaws in you that I could mention in this diary because of the endless love you have shown me and our family throughout the years. In every stage of my life, you have been there for me like my shadow. How am I supposed to find any fault with you?" The story ends there. In these years in between, if someone had asked Ram, "How happy is your wife living with you?" Ram would have said without hesitation, "Of course she is not happy. She has a lot of complaints on me." The problem is that Devi at the age of 31 had no idea of what Devi at the age of 71 would really want. So Ram will not understand this gap as well. There is a thought experiment. The bicycle in the picture is 3 generations old. Grandfather purchased it to carry his children to school in a nearby town. His name is still engraved on the bicycle's handlebars. Many of us are still maintaining such a cycle. Except for the frame and handlebar, every part of that cycle has been replaced over time. Could it still be called as the 60-year-old cycle? Or it becomes a new cycle? You and I are living proof of this paradox. We know that parts of who we are change from year to year, but we continue to believe we are the same people. The idea that someone would stay the same throughout their entire existence is false. He alters constantly. Depending on the circumstance, he adopts various thoughts and behaviors. Let me tell you about some of the practical issues of this change. When we make promises to other people, when we promise to love someone till death, we are making a promise that a stranger is going to have to keep. The issue is that we think we will remain the same in the future. Our future selves could not hold the same beliefs, attitudes, or aspirations. It is crucial to recognize that the people we are now are not simply going to be the same people 20 or 30 years from now. Don't ever think that someone might be angry with you till today for a misunderstanding that happened many years ago. You are not the same. Likewise, that person could have been changed a lot in these years. There are 4 strategies to make use of this change to create a bright future. Accept the fact that you will be a different person in 30 years and take an active role in shaping who you will be then. Your future self should be built by you. But what exactly does that mean? You should socialize with a wide variety of people, not simply those closest to you. Spend time on interests and professional pursuits other than what you do on a regular basis. Grow your horizons since you are going to evolve into a new person and you should be the one to decide who that new person is going to be. So maintain your curiosity. Never think to yourself, "I am too young or too old." Do you believe you are too old to learn how to change your life? Here is the reality. Your age only restricts you if you let it. Create a vision and never let the environment, other people's beliefs, or the limits of what has been done in the past shape your decisions. Rewriting your story at the age of 60 or 70 is very much possible. You can do anything you want at any age if you believe it to be true and put in the effort to make it happen. Don't think to yourself, "I have to be perfect." If you do something perfectly, you haven't really learned anything, such as how to do this task better or what to avoid. By telling yourself that you have to be perfect, you limit your abilities. If you want to learn how to change your life, you must give up on perfection. Rather than aiming for perfection, do your best. Have courage. Our future selves will be physically less capable than we are now. But our future selves are also going to have capacities and wisdom that we do not possess today. When presented with chances, instead of saying, I don't think I have it in me to quit my job and start my own company at my age, we should say, I don't have the ability to achieve those things today, but I might be able to perform those things tomorrow. So, have courage. If you do these things, your future self will say to you, proud of you and thank you very much.